If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today is February 24th, 2020, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, starting out at 11 a.m. South African time out of the European Union, we have German IFO business climate numbers coming out. Now, this is an important event, especially since Germany constitutes one of the largest participants in the Eurozone. So this is an important number that's coming out. But taking a look at the markets, we saw the dollar actually weaken versus the major pairs as this coronavirus actually spread. Dow Jones breaks down as well, gapping down more than 350 points this morning. Now, looking at the commodities, gold makes new highs as the relationship between gold and the Dow are inverse. Gold goes up, Dow goes down, and that's what's been happening. Now, looking at oil also bouncing. Question is whether or not that's going to actually correct itself. And lastly, looking at the stocks, they're selling off, but the question is whether or not they're actually going to have a little bit of a dead cat bounce, or is this just anyways a time to, kind of book the profits anyway? But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're taking a look here first at the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. You can see we had this nice spike, and now we're having a correctional move on the bottom side. So one or two things can happen here. Okay, looking at specifically the euro, we may see ourselves going back down to the lows of 1.078-ish level. Okay, and if we do that, then we may break out lower. Okay, or this may be a final bottom for at least now. Okay, where we'll be trading within a tighter range between the 108.26-ish level and 107-ish level. Okay, 107.8-ish level, more closer to that. So at a 40 pip range for the euro. Now looking at the GBP, we got a sharper spike here, and the correctional move is sustaining itself. So in the GBP, it actually looks like as if it's making a bull flag. Okay, so if this sustains itself, we may see ourselves actually challenging this 129.84-ish level, as this looks like it's bottomed out as well. Now jumping into the commodities, the real play here is gold. So we spoke about this last week. We're looking at gold right now on a monthly chart, and like I've mentioned before, okay, the initial resistance at these levels was 1540-ish level. And once we plowed right above it, now the next real resistance level is 1700-ish level. And we're only about 40 points away. Okay, so with that said, I do expect this to continue rallying. I wouldn't necessarily buy it here. I would wait for a pullback to kind of like maximize the trade. But it is looking like it's heading that way, okay? Whether or not it comes this week, next week, or, whatever happens and develops with this coronavirus, for now, okay, as we stand, as the trend stands, it looks like we're hitting 1700, excuse me. Now, looking at oil, we actually saw a little bit of a bounce here, okay, which was previous resistant-ish level, minor resistance-ish level, but nevertheless a resistant-ish level right there. And we're bouncing right off of that 5170-ish level. Now, we do have a little bit of resistance at this 5235. So if we don't break above it, we may just see ourselves trading sideways for now, okay? The reason why oil is going down is obviously because in relation to this coronavirus happening, what's happening is that a lot of, the consumption of oil is not being done because cities and almost countries are getting closed down. Okay, if you haven't heard the news, the coronavirus has actually spread not just to other parts of China, but as far-reaching place as Italy, as far-reaching place as South Korea, and it's becoming a very serious epidemic. Okay, which is a global situation as opposed to just a pandemic situation where it's just locally. Okay, so it is becoming something that is something widespread, and as a result is affecting the markets altogether. Now looking at the Dow Jones, we actually saw this gap down. Look at this massive gap down from last Friday from 900-ish level down to this 28,688-ish level. Now we need to look at a longer time frame to give us a perspective of this. I mean, this is initially when the coronavirus actually came out, okay, right here. This was what happened right here, and then we saw ourselves breaking down even further from the 28,419. So the question is whether or not we're going to continue this slide down. Okay, for sure we have a support level of 28,000. Okay, but whether or not this actually gets fulfilled, will actually represent itself today. Now, if we look at a longer time frame, and this is why it's very important to see this, okay, we could actually see a double top here. Okay, it's a minor double top, but really there is a double top here. This one on the upside, this one on the downside is really acting like a double top. So with that said, okay, this could really make itself a correction down to the 28,000. And if we break 28,000, we could surely get back to 27,500-ish level. Now, we were due for a correction. What I mean is stocks are trading 19 times their worth, okay? 19 times the value of their companies. And that's usually a forward kind of market, okay, when we do that, okay? However, in light of this coronavirus, we're not sure exactly to the extent and the magnitude that this virus will have down the line. Okay, we know that Apple had mentioned that it's going to affect their bottom line going into next quarter. And so this may become systemic, and at which case this may correct itself back down to 27,000-ish level. Okay, so just be aware of that. So if you do a little bit of chasing this morning and chasing this down, it might be okay. Now, looking at the stocks, they're going to break out lower, okay, especially Apple, okay, which I do expect it to open up around the 305-ish level. And once the panic button hits, it's systemic, okay? It means that, you know, we're going to, you know, get full swing in it, okay? So just be aware of it. Today could really be a massive day in several opportunities in the U.S. markets. Just want to wish everybody a great trading day. This is Fred Razak.